Hello and welcome to a new lecture in the RICS SPA Essentials course. This course is crafted in order to help those who want to get chartered under the Senior Professional Assessment route through the Quantity Surveying and the Project Management sector pathways. And in this lecture we're going to be exploring the main requirements of the Senior Professional Assessment route, specifically focusing on the personal statement and the case study and how to write each and every single one of them. And the way we're going to be tackling this lecture is going to be as follows. We're going to be starting with a brief understanding about the main requirements of the Senior Professional Assessment route, and then we're going to be focusing more on how you can write your personal statement as well as the case studies. We're going to be starting with a brief understanding about the case studies in general, and then we're going to be differentiating between the level 2 and level 3 language. And what we mean by level 2 is the application of the knowledge, which is basically level 1, and level 3 is all about the reasoned advice and what different expressions and idioms you could use in each and every single level and how this ties up with your personal statement and case studies. And then we're going to be jumping to the key titles that would need to be covered under the case studies that you're going to write. And then we're going to be focusing more on the SPA specific areas of competencies, which are leadership, managing people, and managing resources. And then we are going to have a brief overview about the areas of competencies required from the quantity surveying pathway and also the project management pathway and how this ties up to the contents of this course. And then we're going to be given a brief overview about the structure of the interview in terms of the main aspects that are going to be discussed. And then we're going to be highlighting some key dates that you have to keep in mind, whether you're an SPA candidate or an APC candidate, which are basically the submission deadline, and also when to expect your interview to be. And then we're going to be ending the lecture on a good note by explaining how you can write your case study, and we are going to be showcasing one example, and you're free to read the rest of them examples which are already appended to this lecture, and we are going to showcase some extra resources that might be helpful to yourself when you're starting your chartership journey under the SPA route. And now without further ado, let's dive in the lecture. So having finished the discussion of the personal statement, let's now address the elephant in the room, which is basically the case studies that you have to write in order to nail your SPA interview. You are required to provide 3 case studies. The first one is called the case study SPA, the second one is called case study technical 1, and the third one is technical 2. As a piece of advice, you could cover anywhere between 5 to 7 areas of competencies within each and every single case study. Each case study can contain anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 words. The first case study, you will have to include how you are a good leader and how you have managed people and how you have managed resources properly. The leadership, managing people, or managing resources are SPA specific areas of competencies, and they're required up to level 2, which is doing all the application of knowledge. You will also have to include other mandatory areas of competencies in order to be on the safer side in the final assessment itself. So think of the ethics, code of conduct, and professionalism area of competence. Think also of the conflict resolution. You could also think about communication and negotiation, and so on and so forth. And we're going to be providing some sort of like wireframe for what areas of competencies you could include within your different case studies that you have to submit. And following from what we have discussed in the personal statement, it will not harm you to include appendices to support your stance. Make sure to choose the right appendices to showcase the depth and breadth of your experience. For example, you can include a HR policy from your organization to support your stance in managing people area of competence, because one of them required titles under the managing people area of competence is how you have managed the personnel and how you have incorporated the HR policy within your line of work. The second case study, which is the technical one, it would normally include 2 core competencies, one of them to level 2 and one of them to level 3, which is reasoned advice. It will not harm you to include the 2 core competencies up to level 3, which is reasoned advice, and make sure to include as many mandatory competencies as possible. But I will not say the more the merrier, because if you included a substantial amount of areas of competencies, that's where you're going to be stretching thin, especially in the word count. And following from what we have discussed before, appendices to support your stance are more than welcome. The third case study is going to be quite similar to the second one, but make sure that you're choosing core competencies that are different from what you have chosen before in case study number 2. The same rules, they persist, such as the word count, which is 1,000 to 1,500 words, in addition to adding appendices whenever possible and whenever needed. And this is all for this video, which is meant to be an extended trailer, or a teaser. And if you want to have full access to the full length, the recorded videos, the notes, the presentations, and the question answer banks, do not hesitate to get enrolled on the APC Essentials course on the APC Mastery Path web portal, and you can make the best use of a coupon code which is APC35 for a 35% discount. All the best in your APC journey. Thanks a lot for watching, and catch you in the next video.